What is up, Fight Geeks? Welcome back to the podcast, episode 59.
Guys, it is Saturday, the 20th.
Tonight is UFC 297.
Currently,
as you are watching this, there's a new or still middleweight champion.
We're currently on the prelims right now, watching a dogfight between Cindy and Tavares, guys. Absolute dogfight, likely 1-1 right now.
It's
good ass fight.
It's been a bloody night.
It's been some good prelims, bloody night, and we're here.
We're here.
Another day, and
I think
like
we have some
guys,
explaining to do, though.
Yeah, guys.
We will always do predictions a week before, and last week we were in a crazy snowstorm, which we still are in a snowstorm.
Yeah, we live in the top right of America.
Yeah.
So you guys know
snows here.
any state up here gets mad.
Yeah, I think
mad
honestly,
snow.
Like
it's
the
just
whole
it's
top
just
right
what it
of
is.
America has been like.
We honestly, where we live, though, I think we got pretty lucky thus far throughout the whole winter season, right? There was no snow, snow.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
And then it was
much.
like classic snowstorm, and we got some snow. And, as long as, I had my crib, I had some food and stuff, so I was good.
You know what's crazy about where we live, though?
Yeah.
Like, we don't even get the worst of it. Like, if we lived, like, a little bit more south, like, literally, like, 40 minutes south.
I was going to say, even like 20
we would
minutes
have, like,
down
8
south,
feet of
it's so
snow
much worse.
outside of our house.
Actually, so where I live,
We have, like, I'd say, like, 2 feet of snow.
You know where I live up there.
Yeah,
so we had the
even
snowstorm,
less.
and then the driving bans got lifted because I noticed there was one in town. And then, so I had drove into town. And you guys actually had less? Oh, wait.
You guys know where we live.
So you know where I live, right? So basically, when I was up there and when the driving ban got lifted, I had came back down, and there was actually less snow here than where I live. It was weird. So it must have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the snow around us is crazy. Like, it could hit it could depend on the street even. Like,
That's what I mean.
streets could get different snow amounts, which is
The
crazy.
snowstorm last year,
But we survived and we made it for another podcast.
We're here, guys.
for you
We're still driving safe. The roads are still not great, but
We're one away from 62, which is
luckily
we're one
though,
away from 60 as
the
well.
roads aren't clean, but they got them clean enough here to make it a move. For
Yeah,
UFC
no.
297.
Last week would have been like even risky to drive, like especially just for you to drive here. Like I possibly could have made it. Like if you lived here, I probably could have made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, luckily the route though that I do have to take in order to get here is main roads for the most part, so they're always plowed, which is
But no, that night nothing was
good.
plowed.
And like cars
that first night,
like the streets that more cars drive on. Obviously, those streets are the best because the ice immediately melts because all the warm cars.
But if you guys have snow where you live, comment down below and how you deal with it. Because honestly, bro, like shoveling, like I forgot how much it sucked. Shoveling is ass. Do you have to shovel?
Yeah, I was going hard with shoveling.
Yeah, shoveling sucks. I mean, it was nice to get some winter air, but
it took me like an hour and a half.
Shoveling is not it.
I wish I had a snowplow. Snowplows are definitely.
Yeah, dude, I have like this one that's like not even that good.
Dude, they're underrated. Because what you could do is clear a perfect path in one go and then shovel. Because obviously a snowplow,
you clean it up.
It doesn't get to the driveway, but it gets all the 4 feet of snow in front of you. It's sucking it right up and pushing it out. Unfortunately, guys, I'm not in a situation where I have a snowplow right now, so I was just shoveling hard. But if you guys are smart,
dude, I was sweating.
So here's the thing: the first snowstorm, I waited all night. I shoveled in the morning. Then 2 days went by. It snowed again for like 3 hours. I shoveled right then because you got to stay on top of it. Or else
legit,
you can't
bro.
let the snow build, or else all of a sudden.
Or you just
like,
wait it
gosh,
out.
I have so much snow to shovel. Even like 2 days ago, I shoveled, and then like 5 hours later, it was all back. But I was like, if I wouldn't have shoveled, it would have been double this. So
dude, the worst is when you're shoveling and then it replaces as you're still out there.
Oh, that's upsetting. But you got to understand that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, true.
Because now you have less to do earlier. Because snow gets heavy.
It's just
snow gets heavy very, very quick. So you want to be able to shovel as least as possible.
You want to know what's weird about this storm though? Like, the one day it was like super heavy, but then the other day it was like actually like super light. It was.
Dude,
was,
I
like,
saw this thing at Home Depot.
Day.
It's like an automatic shovel. It's like a mini snowblower.
I saw a video of that.
So
but
that would have worked. That would have worked perfect
shit.
For the day we just had. That shit would have been foo, foo, foo. And no, the other day, nah.
That shit would break down.
No, the worst stuff is after the plows come by your street and you have to dig out your driveway.
Yeah, my neighbor actually parked in front of his driveway, which I guess is legal, but.
That's a smart.
But yeah, so that's kind of why we didn't do our last episode. We were in a crazy snowstorm, and it's still a snowstorm, but we're able to drive now. So tonight's UFC 297, like we said. I got Sean Strickland.
I got Strickland. I think it's gonna.
I'm rooting for Strickland, even if he loses.
I actually talked to a few people
that.
Like just about the fights, like some of our boys, and they were like, "I think Dirk Duplessis is winning," and I was like, "If you have DDP winning,
if you're a man,
if you have DDP winning, the only way he wins is by knockout. He can, or submit him. He cannot go to the distance with Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland is the Strickland machine. I think he's probably third for the least finished fights in history. Like, I'm pretty sure he's very high up there on the no finish.
Imagine they did Sean Strickland versus Colby
guys,
Covington, no time limit.
Before he became champion, he was the Apex main event fucking warrior. Like, this dude just went to. He was known for going.
Yo,
so yeah, either way though, the people I was talking to were just wild, and they were like, DDP's winning. I was like, how the? I was like,
I got two things to say about Sean Strickland. The first thing I'll take from Anthony Smith earlier. DDP feels like this is like his moment. Like he was like, this is his fate. Sean Strickland's like, this is just another fight, and I just want to win. Like any other fight. This is any other fight for Sean Strickland.
That's what makes this fight so good.
I think it gives him an advantage as well. And then also, do you remember like, I don't know what Sean Strickland fight it was, but at the end he was like, you know, people like me, man, we come and go. We don't really get too much of the spotlight. Remember that fight? When at the end he was like,
I don't remember.
He's like, I just want to do entertaining shit for y'all, and I'm gonna be forgotten about. Remember, he was basically saying he was gonna be forgotten about
because he had his first knockout in like 6 years.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna be forgotten about anyways after I retire, so I'm just gonna keep doing me. And look at him now, he's champ. He's not gonna be forgotten about now. You feel me? So that was really. I'll have to find that clip and post it on
what
Instagram.
You can do is look at his fight before Izzy. That's 100% when it was because he got his first finish in like 5 years. So he was like,
no, I because it was here. It wasn't. It was
here.
I was sitting right here watching it like on the TV when it was there.
Yeah, no, that was that.
So
fight.
It was either
that was that fight.
No, because his fight before Izzy was in the summer. I'm posting that.
I think this fight is the UFC's just like throwing it out there, and they probably.
Yeah,
I want.
Did you see what Sean said? He said, I'm not getting any money.
Who
do
I think is gonna win? Who do I think is gonna win? Sean Strickland. Who do I want to win?
Sean Strickland.
This fight, I love both sides of a win. If you get DDP as champ, DDP underrated on the mic. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't been able to keep up on watching the podcast. But I've obviously seen the clips floating around and the virality ones, and DDP is actually pretty funny. I think whoever wins, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I'd probably lean towards more wanting Sean, but I think if DDP wins, it sets up like a Izzy. You could sneak Izzy on 300 for the title, possibly. If DDP wins, I think if Sean wins, there's no way you give Izzy the rematch. That's just not how it works. I think. Wow, how did he win? Okay, anyway, guys, possible upset on the screen here. Just sorry for that.
And well, I guess there was also just some buzz around like Alex Perez in town. Are they going to announce? Prayer is he for UFC 300? Dude, so we might get some UFC 300.
Did you guys see the Nelk boys?
I don't follow the Nelk anymore.
Neither. The Nelk boys.
I don't really like Nelk anymore.
The Nelk boys for the interview.
That dude. Yeah, Full Send MMA.
Yeah, why was he? He asked Alex Pereira about his breakup, and this dude, guys, is clearly not a real journalist. Clearly, the money got him to where he was. Yeah. You know, there's no real. Like a lot of the interviewers you see, they're.
He didn't have to build his platform.
A lot of the interviews, man, they're good at their fucking job. Like even like
just riding an elk shout out.
Every single interviewer on the UFC is pretty good. Like Megan Levy, even though she kind of works with the UFC, but they're all so good, right? They're so good with their words. Then you have this guy who basically money kind of put him in the position he's in.
Got slapped
and
by
his interviews would kind of be like right me. If I were to interview a fighter right now with like no preparation whatsoever, I feel like I could have arguably pulled off a better fucking interview than what he did. And I'm not calling him out, not hating. It is what it is. He probably. I mean, why would you work hard if you don't have to, right? If you don't have to. So anyway, the interview, he was talking about Alex Pereira about his breakup, and I was like, that isn't just not something you talk about.
And I guess Alex Pereira's ex was married.
Yeah, you saw the clip. Unless someone completely faked the captions on that video.
Yeah, true. They honestly could have.
But either way, guys, nonetheless, he asked about the fucking.
But like that clip was everywhere, so. But we got some awesome fights coming up. We're just going to run through UFC 298, 299, and 300 for you guys because tons of fights have been announced since we last filmed, bro. Like, I honestly forgot about this. We got Merab versus Cejudo.
I respect the frick out of Henry for taking that fight, right? Because you have Henry Cejudo, a guy who was a former double champion who lost to the current bantamweight champion and then fought literally the scariest guy, right? Because you got the scariest guy in terms of he doesn't have like devastating highlights or crazy knockouts, but he does have a winning record, and he did go out there and slay Peter Yan for 25 minutes. Yeah. Regardless of how of how boring that fight was, and although he shot for 60 takedowns, and Peter Yan defended 50. This dude is not a guy that you want to face if you want to win type deal. Like he's not going to knock you out, but he might take you down 50 times or attempts. So respect Henry for taking that fight because I feel like
Henry
is also huge for Henry because if he wins this, I think that automatically slides you the title again, low key. Without Aljo being there,
or if he beats Dvalishvili, does Aljo want to just get one more lick on?
Aljo said he's done.
Yeah, he's gonna be in featherweight, which you guys will see later in the episode.
Done.
Then we finally have Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary. I'm never gonna root for Ian Gary. I don't know. I just don't really like him. I think he's trying to be someone who he's not. Like, forget about the whole like wife shit. Like, he's trying to be someone that he's literally not. With the trash talking, I think you can't trash talk and then say, I don't feel safe here with my family.
I don't hate Ian Gary.
Like, bro.
I don't hate Ian Gary, but I will say
UFC fighters get security too.
I won't hate Ian Gary, but I will say I think dude, this guy's build is crazy. What the hell? I will say I think he thinks he's more popular than he is. I think a lot of people don't really care about him, but so he says a lot.
I'm rooting for Jeff.
Because he said in the one interview, he said they're not waking up to watch Sean O'Malley. They're waking up to watch me, which was crazy because they're probably not waking up to watch either fighter, to be honest.
Yeah, legit.
Just the UFC fan will stay up. But so, am I rock? Who is going to win? Probably
Ian Gary, just because
Ian Gary's probably going to win. I mean, they're giving him like the ranked guys, but they're the bottom of the ranked guys. Just trying to build them up.
The main event is freaking awesome. Volk versus Topuria, baby. And I'm honestly a huge Topuria fan, but I'm also a huge Volk fan.
Guys.
And I'm honestly torn over this one.
I believe Volk, what he says, he's going to make a...
Will he break the record?
I think he will.
Of the over 35-year-olds not being able to win.
Only because...
Titles.
Only because it's been... Every other time it's been like this, it's been a weird situation.
Colby, has there ever been anybody that's like Volk?
So every time there's a fighter champion that's 35 years old that they have lost, whether it was defending it or trying to obtain it, and the most recent three I could think of was the last fight with Colby. And that was a weird situation, right? Obviously, Leon being the betting favorite, Colby out of the ring for a while, already having 2 losses to the number 1 pound for pound. So
didn't even deserve that.
So every time a fighter that has been 35 years or older in recent years have come short, but I think it's been in a situation where they're not even technically the favorite. The last one before that was, I believe, Henry Cejudo when he came back. Did people really think he was going to go off after a 2-year layoff and win? No, I don't think so. But now we have Volk, who was been dominating everybody, being arguably the most active champion in the recent years we've seen the UFC next to Izzy. And we haven't seen a 35-year-old champion or contender this active and this dominant in a while. I mean, obviously, he just got knocked out by Islam Makhachev, but...
on short notice, 12 days.
12 days, you guys know all this
I feel like
shit.
we got to put that fight under the carpet, you feel me?
Well, that's what I mean. And
sweep
you have
it
Volk,
under the rug, as I say.
And then you have Volk going out in an interview saying, it's like that fight never happened. And a lot of people, when they say that, I'm like, nah, they don't think that. But somehow Volk, he's a really genuine dude, and I don't think I really think he was being honest about that. And I think he does break it. I do think Ilya Tufora, though. I think what we have in Ilya Tufora is just a young up-and-comer who isn't quite going to be the guy yet.
I wanted to see him versus like Max.
So here's the thing: Ilya is 26 years old, guys. He's the future of this division. He's not right now, and I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see the experience and the dominance by Volk just kind of overthrow Ilya. He's probably going to finish him. But this guy's the future of the division.
He's undefeated.
26 years old.
He's also undefeated.
He's 26 years old. We were talking about it a few episodes ago about the future of the UFC, and this guy's one of them. And I don't think his time's now. It could be.
Plus, who knows? We could even see him in lightweight in the future with that Paddy the Baddy talk.
He's 26. He's got 10 more years left in his prime career.
To hit his prime if he hasn't already. So UFC 298 is sweet. That's in February. So let's kick it to March now. All right, so UFC 299, I think we could even call it UFC Miami at this point because it's finna be hype. Starting off on, I think this is still the prelims. Peter Yan versus Song Yadong, man. This is a great fight. This is what we were supposed to have when Song fought. Yeah. Was it Chris Gutierrez?
Or the fluff.
When Khalil Roundtree was co-main against Smith. So I'm hyped for this. Peter Yan champion 2024.
Let's go.
You called it.
We did call it.
But that's going to be a good one. Gamrot versus Dos Anjos. I mean, those are 2 vets. Or 1 vet at least. I don't know how old Gamrot is. I mean, Gamrot's been a player.
I'm rooting against Gamrot just because he celebrated after.
Yeah, I don't like Gamrot at all, and I'll root for Dos Anjos here.
He celebrated because of the.
And if Dos Anjos does win, he moves from 11 to 6 in the
dude. He celebrated
division.
After Fazia's tore his ACL. Like what?
Do you want to know what's crazy about Gamrot? He's number 6 in the lightweight division, one of the most craziest divisions in the UFC. And I bet if you asked like 100 UFC fans, probably like 40% of them would know who he is.
dude,
just a casual UFC fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The number 6 lightweight, the most entertaining division. The number 6 guy, people don't even know.
You're not gonna know.
Then we got Macy Barber versus Chuk again. That's interesting. Ooh, Blades versus Almeida. As long as it's not another ground battle, this is gonna be a great fight.
Sadly.
Kevin Holland versus Michael Page, man.
Yo, I feel bad
Michael
for
Page's debut.
PFL because he was in the PFL ring, and I remember there was leaks of him signing to the UFC, and I was like, the
Dana White poster leaked.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then a week later, there's a PFL event, and then he's in the ring, and they're talking about a potential matchup between those two guys, and I'm like, well, there goes the ties with the UFC. And then 2 days after that, the UFC announced
UFC 299. I was like, here we go.
I was like, Michael Venom Page is kind of a dickhead for that. He really went in the PFL ring, made some sort of noise like he was going to come.
Ooh, Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Ooh,
dude, this is crazy. This is crazy matchmaking. Number 4 versus number 11.
Well, Burns needs that. He needs this.
Yeah,
good fight.
And then another crazy matchmaking: Dustin Poirier versus Benoit.
Yo, the odds are even,
Saint Denis.
The odds are close. Oh,
there's no odds.
They don't have odds yet, but obviously they do. They don't have odds on ESPN, but they have odds. They're on the UFC website.
It's weird. There's odds for that. Some of these fights have odds, and some don't. Then the main event, which Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera 2, aka Chito Vera. That's gonna be great. I
think Sean.
What do you think of all the stuff about how like Sean isn't the superstar that like people think he is? Because like his YouTube views.
No,
like,
I think
can you say YouTube views or anything?
I think that's just him getting hit. I think he's popping everywhere. I think is he near Conor McGregor's level? Like if you were to if Conor's up here, right? Conor's up here. Is Sean O'Malley up here with Conor?
Nah.
No. He's like down here. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. No one will ever be as big as Conor McGregor. And what is wrong with Sean O'Malley saying I'm going to be the next Conor McGregor? What is wrong with him saying that? People are like, he's saying that he's delusional. His views are down. His mic game is trash. And I'm like, dude, who cares? He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now. Definitely the biggest champion in the UFC right now.
Yo, Kyle, do you want to know a fact about O'Malley?
I don't get the hate.
He's popping when he needs to be popping. Like, he's not fighting. He doesn't need to be
popping.
What's crazy, but when he's fighting, he is the most popping fighter.
Let me tell you this. Most of the time,
like once February rolls around, you already know he's going to be promoting.
Before people knew Conor, they knew him for his mic talk, right? Like they were like, Conor's the guy on the mic. And then he incorporated that with his fighting skills, right? I'm not going to lie to you, Matt, but I became a fan of Sean O'Malley before his mic game. I became a fan of O'Malley because of his fighting, not his talking. I became a fan of Conor because of his talking, not his fighting.
I think his style might have played into it a little bit.
Even though Conor backed up his fighting, or backed up his talking with his fighting. But I think Sean O'Malley, with the rainbow hair and his crazy fight style, and then the Snoop Dogg O'Malley clip, I think what made me a fan of O'Malley was his fighting, not necessarily his talking. And then he became a star because of his fighting. And yeah, maybe his trash game or talk game ain't that great, but he's still a star. He went out there and did his thing to become champion.
I think he just does what a lot of fighters fail to do, is make a brand for themselves. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sean O'Malley basically made a whole brand for himself, merch, the whole bit. You know what I mean? So
if O'Malley ever left the UFC, it'd be
people should take notes. To be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
If you're good and you could beat people, make as much money and make a name for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And then UFC 300, there isn't too many fights, but it's mostly just like bigger name fights. So Jim Miller, Bobby Green, that's going to be good. Figgy versus Garbrandt, which is kind of crazy. Garbrandt's getting a chance at number 8 ranked, man.
It's huge for Garbrandt. Huge for him in his career, chat.
Bo Nickel is back against Cody Brundage. They're still not giving Bo Nickel a ranked fighter. They
don't need a ranked fighter. He just needs a guy that give him I don't even know, bro. Give him
Jack Hermanson.
Thank you. Yeah, give him that. Give him.
You feel me? Someone like that.
Give him Usman even. Can we not?
Usman at middleweight? I mean, I don't know.
That's a good fight. Shit.
And then we got Sterling's featherweight debut against Calvin Kattar.
Good ass fight.
It's gonna be good.
Love the matchmaking on that. You have classic striker versus.
What is this old ass photo of Aljamain?
Dirty.
And then we got Yuri. He's back.
Yuri,
Rocket.
This might be too early.
This is a rematch, right?
I feel bad. Yuri kind of fell off.
I wouldn't say he fell off, but I think that
his star power.
I think almost everybody fell off with the break the UFC took.
Yeah, kind of.
Like just everything fell off. Like we fell off. No, I'm kidding. We actually had some virals. Then we got Oliveira Saryukian, man. for the title shot.
People the odds are so even on this.
There's no odds yet. There,
but I've seen odds on like the sports books that just have them out.
I mean, Saryukian's good. You can't. The
odds are dead
not,
even.
You know what I mean?
I'm scared.
But so is Oliveira. The champion has a name, Charles Oliveira.
I think Oliveira takes this.
I'm hyped for that fight. Freaking bless
Max
Holloway.
I don't like this fight. I don't like this.
You don't.
It's so there's no all right. So
this is the thing. You have to learn to like it.
It really only benefits.
I don't think
Max
it affects
Holloway,
rankings at all.
It just it affects Holloway. I think if Holloway beats Gaethje, that's huge. He should get a title shot against anyone if he wins. Honestly, against a much bigger guy. Max Holloway looks like a featherweight.
This is going to be
crazy.
He
is a featherweight.
Do you think he should shave his head again so it's like lightweight Max Holloway?
I don't know what he should do, but
or like
this is
not
a scary
shave
fight.
it,
I
but
think
like cut it.
I think
short.
Gaethje takes this one. I think Max. So here's the thing: Max has never been known for his knockout power. He's been known for having the most significant strikes in the UFC, but also having the least knockdowns. So taking that into account, a guy in Justin Gaethje who preferably likes being hit and then just hitting you back harder, I think that's his stylistic nightmare for Max Holloway, and it does make me a little scared because I love both guys, but I see Max Holloway just tagging Justin Gaethje eating them and just landing shots 10 times harder. And Justin Gaethje ends people's career, man. Look at Tony Ferg now on his 7th straight losing skid. So this fight scares me a little bit.
Oh, for the future of Max, it might be scary, y'all. It might be scary
because you got a lighter guy who already doesn't hit hard. We know he doesn't.
But think of it this way: imagine Max Holloway with the BMF belt on his fucking shoulder. That's gonna be hype.
He's not knocking out Justin Gaethje. I'm saying it
he
right
might,
now.
Though. And then we got. There's no main event yet, but we got Zhang Weili versus Yang Xiaonan. First China versus China.
Guys, I love China versus China. I love Zhang Weili. I love that other woman. But guys, this is not a UFC 300 fight. I think UFC 300 guys, and I think what UFC and Dana White are doing here is just making it a good card, like they should do. I think I really thought about it one night when I was thinking. I was like, how are they like selling UFC 300? They should have made $299.
Every fight is going to be.
I was
good.
like
Dana White said.
No.
The first prelim, you're going to be like, wow.
I said $299. They should have made Loki mid, and then $298 even make mid. So that way you can make 300 absolute best card of all time. But I honestly think spreading it out between these three, because you have $299, which is an absolute banger, and then 300 is going to be banger too. It might not be fireworks and the craziest card of all time. It definitely won't be the best card of all time.
But it's a good
but it's
fight.
What we got here is 3 good cards back to back to back in 89 or 98, 99, and 300.
And I mean, we'll watch the main card for 297 later. This might be one of the best cards we've ever seen. If there's like guys, 5 finishes or something crazy, you feel me?
Let's go.
So
enjoy the fights.
What time is it? Because we're gonna be heading out soon.
Woo!
Like 10 minutes. But yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around with us for 2024. If you want to ride with us a whole nother year. Because we here, if you want to be here with us, subscribe, drop a like, comment.
Do you think 21?
I think we're eventually going to get back on like thinking about what we're actually going to do with this room one of these weekends. You know what I mean? You down to just like hit up like Target and just try to see some shit?
Yeah.
At least to like a shelf.
Yeah.
And if we could find the same exact futon.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be swag. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in episode 60.
60.
Peace.